Hello, in this video I'm going to explain a little bit about the energy process I use and what it is and how to do it. So I use the energy alignment method, and you've probably got this video because we're going to be doing some work together, or maybe I think you might be interested in it anyway. And it's the process that I use on a daily basis with me and with all of my clients, whether you're doing one-to-one work with me or whether you're in one of my group programs. It's a brilliant self-help tool that you can use anytime you're feeling blah or less than positive, to release any feelings, thoughts, beliefs, anything keeping you stuck, and to move to a more positive way of being. So it's created by Yvette Taylor and it's called EAM for short, and it's really Yvette's life's work. It's a culmination of Western principles, positive psychology, quantum science and applied kinesiology. And that's about as descriptive as I'm going to get here. She has written a book, The Ultimate Self-Help Book. Yvette Taylor, do look it up if you want any more information about the science and all of the stuff, the technical stuff behind it. Then do go and read her book. But for today's purposes, I want to keep it simple and get you doing it so you can experience what it's like. So as I say, I use this tool on a daily basis if ever I feel funky in the slightest, and I help my clients use it to feel fitter, healthier and happier. And the very first thing that you need to do before you start using it is to be able to find out how to read your energy to get a yes or no response. So don't worry if you've never done any kind of energy work before. I was exactly the same when I started about 2.5 years ago. I didn't know how to use my energy, how to feel anything, and I'm going to be explaining all of that when we work together. But to keep it simple, I'm going to help you establish what your yes and your no is by reading your own energy. I'm going to get you to stand up, so if you want to clear a little bit of space and ideally take your shoes off, you're going to experience it for yourself. So when you're ready, feet about hip width apart, and I'm going to stay seated for this video, so feet about hip width apart, soften your knees slightly, let your shoulders drop down and take a couple of deep breaths. Ideally close your eyes, and I want you to notice what happens. There may be a movement here, there may be a physical movement, or you may feel something internally. What happens to your energy when you ask the question, is my name, and say your name, what name you're known as, or your birth name if that's different. You might need to try both. So ask it out loud and notice. Now if nothing happens, occasionally that's the case, I want you to ask, is my date of birth, and give your date of birth. So something that's non-negotiable. So one of three things will happen. Either nothing at all, or you'll get a feeling of being pulled forward, or you'll actually move forward. Sometimes you sway forward, and that is your positive yes. You've read your energy and you've got a yes. If anything else happens, I'm going to direct you to the next video where I'll explain that, but for the intents and purposes of keeping it simple, I'm going to assume that you've moved forward on your name or your date of birth. So that's your yes. So we need to know your yes and no. Let's find out your no. So ask the question again, but give a random name, as random as you want, whether it's anything, but something that is very definitely not your name, and see what happens then. So hopefully you had a feeling of being pulled backwards, or maybe you actually did move backwards and that is your no. Again, if anything else happens, then do go to the next video. If you haven't got the next video, email me and I'll send it to you. Say, help, it hasn't worked as you've said, and I'll send you the next video. So you've got your yes and your no established. Perfect. The next thing is to bring to mind something that is maybe slightly bothering you. Maybe let's just say you've had an argument with your boss. And when you think about that argument, and don't worry, I'm not going to keep you there for long, what happens? So go back to standing, feet hip width, eyes closed. Tune in to what happens in your body when you think about that. So you may get a tightness in your throat, you may get a knot in your stomach. So just take a moment to think about that. And what I'm going to get you to do is to say a statement 3 times. You'll insert the things that you're feeling in your energy, or it might be just outside of you. You might feel like you've got a brick wall in front of you. Whatever comes up for you, you're going to use that. And we're going to say a statement 3 times. This is the release statement. So repeat after me. I am ready to release this, whatever it is that you're feeling. When I think about that argument with my boss, or whatever your scenario is, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Take a deep breath. You might feel things start to move, or you might sway a little bit. This is all fine. I am ready to release this knot in my stomach, whatever your thing is. When I think about that argument with my boss, whatever your scenario is, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Breathe deep and exhale long and slow, as if you could literally breathe out whatever it is that you're experiencing. I am ready to finally let go of this knot in my stomach, your thing. When I think about whatever your thing is, I allow this to be released from my energy now, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Take another deep breath. Then you ask your energy, have I released this feeling, whatever your thing is? And see whether you get a yes or a no response. Don't worry if you get a no. You can repeat your release statement 3 more times. Rewind the video if you need to. Repeat it 3 more times. If you get a have I released yes, ta-da, that is brilliant. So we're moving into the final step now. So the first one was you ask your question, what happens to my energy when I think about the thing? You experience it, you feel something in your body, you release it, you ask if it's been released, and then you do your step 5. So this is where you add in whatever it is that you want to feel. So hopefully you want to feel calm and positive. Maybe you want to feel confident around your boss, whatever your thing is. So spend a few seconds to think, how is it you want to feel when you've released the thing that you were feeling? And you're going to pop your arms in the air, either in a V shape or maybe with your palms up open wide, and you say your words, unless of course mine resonate with you. So I am ready to invite into my energy an abundance of positivity and confidence when I think about my boss. I invite this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Breathe deep and really start to feel those feelings in your body. So conjuring up a time when you felt like that, or imagining how it would feel. Let's go again. I am ready to allow myself to feel so positive and confident when I'm around my boss. I invite in these feelings, an abundance of these feelings, into my energy, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Breathe deep and as feeling it in as much clarity as possible, as much as you can describe it and feel it. I am ready to allow into my energy an abundance of positivity and confidence when I'm around my boss, being able to speak my truth. I invite all of this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Breathe deep, just allow yourself to be showered by those feelings, allow them to sink into your body, spreading out into your energy centers, and let your arms drop down when you're ready. So you should be feeling really good by now. You should be feeling positive and confident, or whatever it is that you wanted to feel. If you're not, repeat that 3 more times, or until you do feel those positive feelings that you want to feel. I'd love to know what you think and how you get on. And until we meet, thanks for watching and enjoy.